Hello and welcome to another sports rant. I am your host, Max Gallegos. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you like the videos, like the content. We talk just purely sports today. We're a pure sports podcast. Follow us on Spotify, on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. I post updates on Instagram and Twitter. Go follow those. Everything, new episodes, everything all comes out there. Like and subscribe if you like it. Leave a comment with a suggestion. I'd love to hear them. Yeah, let's get to the video. So, oh boy, we just wrapped up with championship weekend, and I took it like a day. Like most people listening to this, listening Tuesday morning, and if you're like, there was a lot. I had to take Monday really to just like sit there and like reflect about it because there's a lot of reactions that happen. There's a lot of people who are like, oh no, the refs, and oh this, and oh no, this is like the worst Super Bowl ever. This is the worst scenario we could have possibly had. I was like, okay. I had kind of that reaction initially. Right? I was like, okay, you know what? There is some kind of truth to this narrative of we got the worst Super Bowl ever, which means the expectations are on the floor. There is not. We're not expecting to have anything good happen. We're just like, oh my gosh, why are we having Chiefs again? And I think it's like, okay, hold on. I think we need to like take a step back as like fans and kind of appreciate this a little bit. You know what? We've never had that. And this is somebody who's been very critical of the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles for all my life. Right? There's something to be had about just like, you know, accepting the what happens, accepting what comes. And you know what? There's great things might happen if the Chiefs win. You know what? That's a three-peat. We've never had a NFL three-peat ever. That's pretty historic. It's cool. I know it's gonna be the fourth time in in 6 years. But you know what? We had some like we always talk about how much we hate like this dynasty or this team when they're winning, right? And then it's like when they're finally crumble and fall, and it's like, oh, they were really good. Everybody starts yapping about how great they were. Oh my gosh, they're so good. Nobody can stop this team, and blah blah. Blah. And it's like, but you blame the refs in the here and now. And granted, there was some bad officiating. But you know, I think there was bad officiating. Whenever there's bad officiating, there's always an opportunity for the losing, especially in a close game. There's always an opportunity for the losing side. There were opportunities for the Bills. And I'm speaking on the Chiefs Bills game here. It's like there was opportunities for the Bills. They had missed on 2-point conversions. Two of them. They were running that tush push that just didn't work. Right, the ones that like, maybe like it worked like 2 out of 5 times, 3 if you're a Bills fan, right? So, it happens. There were opportunities. There were ways you could have won besides getting screwed, right? So you know what? I hear it. I understand. I'm not a Chiefs glazer. I'm not Mahomes glazer either. I'm not a very. You go look at my other stuff. It's like, yeah, I'm very critical of him, because like, yeah, the stuff on the sidelines, and it gets a little much. And I'm a Patriots fan, so I have the unique perspective of being on the side of, yeah, we're winning. Like, who's gonna stop us? Beat us then, right? And then now recently, I've just been on this side of being on the side of the being like, oh, the cheaters, the blah blah blah, right? You know what I'm like? Oh, they're such cheaters. It's like another Chiefs Super Bowl, right? And so I kind of took that today, Monday. I mean, it's Tuesday now, but I took Monday to really just kind of reflect on that and really just kind of Let it sink in. You know what? It's going to be the Super Bowl. It's going to be football. We're getting football. It's the last game of football for um, how many months? For what, 9 months? I'm excited. Like, I understand it's hard. It's hard to watch this. Like, it's like another a repeat Super Bowl again. Come on, like nobody wants this. But like I'm thinking like I just watched Saquon Barkley, who if the Eagles win, he should win MVP. I think he just should win MVP. I think that's fair. You saw Lamar crumble in the playoffs. You see Josh crumble in the playoffs. And where is Saquon in the Super Bowl? And what is Saquon doing the first time he touches the ball in the game? Tutty. House call. Insane. Legendary stuff. In the first quarter, he had 2 touchdowns. The hell? I think in all-purpose yards, you count from week 1 to today, he has like the second most rushing yards in a season, like ever. More than like Eric Dickerson, yeah, like plus postseason. Like he's legendary, and it must suck to be a Giants fan right now because that's a kick in the pants. Because do you remember the Eagles last year? It was all should we fire Sirianni? Is Jalen Hurts even a good quarterback? Is blah blah blah. There was so much discourse. They got waxed by the Buccaneers in the first round, and then it's all of a sudden Saquon comes in, rushes for 2,000 yards, and Jason Kelce retired, but you know what? Their O-line's better. You know what? That's kind of a theme I always find funny with good football teams. They always have a good O-line. So and everybody's like, oh, the weapons, and you need weapons for your quarterback, and it's like I think you need O-lines for your quarterback first. Because Justin Herbert had a lot of weapons last year, and they went 5-12. He got some. They traded away a lot of his weapons. They got better. I think he made the playoffs. Yeah, he kind of shit the bed in the playoffs, but you know what? They made the playoffs more than some teams, right? Some teams would kill to be the fucking 6th seed, right? Or they were the 5 seed, but you know what I mean. There is just like a discrepancy, and I will always defend the O linemen because they don't get enough credit. They really don't. And these two teams have some of the better O lines in the league. The Chiefs do have they have some issues on the O line. I think their right tackle probably starts every snap like half second early, and he gets called for it all the time. Like, did you forget? Like, we kind of forget about that when we're talking about the Chiefs and the refs. Like, their right tackle sucks, and he will literally fall. Like, I've seen him fall start, like to the point where it's like I noticed it, and I'm not like necessarily like I'm ADHD, so I'll be on my phone watching football. Be on my phone watching football, like back and forth a lot. He's actually probably one of the most. I think he's one of the most penalized players like in the league, and it's kind of hilarious. Like I've seen it more and more. Maybe he's cleaned it up, but it happens. But but we wouldn't talk about that necessarily if the Chiefs had we all. Here, hold on. My point is, I saw a post on Instagram. It's this graphic of who's rooting for, who America is rooting for. It's always the map, right? I think I've talked about this before, and especially now that the Chiefs are going for this historic three-peat, they're going to try and go on uncharted territory. Nobody's done this. It's interesting to see what a team become the villain, right? You see, I was there to watch the Patriots, the 2018 AFC Championship game, overtime against the Chiefs. The Patriots had broken their undefeated season that year, because the Patriots kind of started off slow. They kind of like 2-2. They kind of were like wibbly wobbly, like right. It wasn't like they weren't dynamic on anything. They were just good, like played good defense, kind of all like stuck in it, right? They were just, but they was like the Patriots team. There was like the 2 seed. They went on the road to Arrowhead, and they had beaten them in the regular season, like I said, and then they went in to Arrowhead. Good game, like it was like they kind of like they came in buttoned up. They came up like ready to go. Went into Arrowhead, scored on the first drive. Tom Brady threw an end zone pick in the second drive. They were like knocking on the door. That Chiefs that Chiefs defense could not stop a nosebleed. And then it's like then they start scoring. It goes back and forth for a while. Game goes to OT, right? Patriots win in OT. Patriots go on to win their 6th Super Bowl, which is historic, right? They tied the Patriots tied the highest number of Super Bowls for any other team, which is with the Steelers, which is historic. Like there was, which we're kind of running into this now with like the Chiefs. It's I don't think they're maybe on the same level as the Patriots, but they're different. Like like we can compare dynasties and stuff, and all these different things. And I want to I realize I want to appreciate this. I want to appreciate it for the greatness that it is. You know what? Patrick Mahomes is great. He's not better than Tom Brady, but he's different. He's apples and oranges, like they're quarterbacks. But I always, it's one of those things you see that all the time where it's like, oh, is Patrick Mahomes like, is he in the GOAT debate now? It's like, pause. Tom Brady is 70 years old. 70, good lord. Tom Brady was playing until he was 45. Won 7 Super Bowls. Beat Mahomes twice in the playoffs. He's only quarterback to do it twice. Owned his ass in the regular season. And you know what? It's like, yeah. And Brady is like, he will stand the test. I think he will stand the test of time because of like, he played in that 2000s era where there was no rules to protect the quarterback, and he won in both eras. Like he won in the era of protecting the quarterback, and he won in the era where he was not protected. So he adapted and changed to all of that. He played for 23 years, longer than I've been alive. Tom Brady played football. Like, Tom Brady, it played high-level football longer than I've been alive. That's insane. Like, professional, high-level football. He's won Super Bowls since before I was born, and up until for 20 years. It's insane. Yes. So like you always pump the brakes on that. I always am like, it's a lot of, if you see that online and you're like up in arms, it's like it's rage bait. It's just rage bait. Nobody actually really believes that. Mahomes is great in his own sense, but Tom Brady's another tier. He has his own shelf. It's something that 7 Super Bowls is insane. Tom Brady has more, like, I don't think people like entirely like recognize it. Tom Brady has more Super Bowls than every NFL franchise. He has the 2nd most Super Bowl appearances to his own team, the New England Patriots. He has 10 Super Bowl appearances, and then there's teams after. Like, he is in team stats. And I hate to like, I love Tom Brady to death. And I hate to glaze, but like, that's the reality of it. It's like, you know what? And with the Chiefs here, it's like, yes, they are poised. I will always say they are poised on a three-peat. We're not writing them in any record books right now. If they complete it, that's legendary. The Patriots almost had an undefeated season. Almost. They won more games than the 72. They won more consecutive games than the 72 Dolphins. But it didn't matter. You know why? Because they lost in the Super Bowl. Because the sticky helmet catch. Because he was able to hold it to his helmet and They were able to get down there and they were able to score. The Giants were able to score. That sucks. The greatest team to never win, and it easily, in sports, just in sports in general. Name another team. 17-0, perfect season. Everything was going right. It was the weird 6th seed Giants. Nobody fucking believed in the Giants, and it was the behemoth of the Patriots, and that was the Patriots' peak powers. MVP Brady, Randy fucking Moss, and it didn't matter, right? It doesn't quite feel like that here, because it's like, like the Eagles are the 2 seed. They have Saquon Barkley. They have this great O-line. They have this great defense, right? Their defense is like, from what it was last year, where they were like, we were talking about like their defense being terrible. Their secondary getting blown away. So now it's like, oh yeah, they're like best defense in the league. It was just, yeah, that's pretty insane. And give I've kind of been like critical of Jalen Hurts, and gotta give him props. 2 Super Bowl appearances. It's supposed to I understand it's granted hindsight, he doesn't have to play Patrick Mahomes. But you know what? Had the best game of his life in that Super Bowl. I feel like the only reason the Chiefs won that Super Bowl against the Eagles is because they had the ball last. Right? And I won't bet against Mahomes. I'm not going to. I kind of want to just I just want to watch it, listen, let it all sink in, see what happens, and just kind of be at peace with this. Because you got to make peace with as a fan, it's you're not going to change the outcome. You're screaming at the refs online isn't going to make them make better calls. I think the NFL needs to fix some things, but that's the NFL's problem, right? I think they're probably going to do record numbers. I really am. I think there's going to be some. We always did the Taylor should get it off the screen. It's it works. Last year it was the most viewed Super Bowl ever. And it's okay. If that's the way the NFL if that it's still you're gonna I'm gonna watch. Everybody's oh, boycott the Super Bowl. It's no. It's football. I like football. That's what it comes to the point. It's yes, take away the fan bases, take away the take away whatever's happening. It's a football game. I want to watch fucking football. I like football. I'm not gonna let some boy this is his boyfriend, blah blah blah. And this is the Eagles fan base, blah blah blah. Because I'm not a big fan of the Eagles either. I'm sorry, I'm not. Their fan base is I'm a Patriots fan. They kicked their ass in the Super Bowl, in Tom Brady's best statistical Super Bowl. And sometimes you just gotta watch for the love of the game. And we can't let you can't let that what other people do to and ruin something for you, right? A great example. My brother was talking about he's I really like this band, blah blah blah. It's kind of a niche, right? And he sees this really weird fucking guy wearing a t-shirt of that same band. This really weird fucking dude, right? My brother's yeah, you know what? It makes me feel bad. It's weird, to see somebody wear it's damn, that guy's fucking weird, and he likes the same thing as I do. And it's what the fuck? It's and it makes you lose happiness, lose your joy of it. It's you can't let other people dictate your joy. Just enjoy football, right? Just kind of observe, because that's all we're doing. That's all you and I can do is just sit there and watch football for 60 minutes, and then we gotta wait. Somebody's gonna hoist the trophy at the end of the game. Terry Bradshaw will hand them a trophy. They'll sit there and they'll smile and they'll do their confetti. They'll do snow angels and the confetti. They'll get their shirts. They'll go probably booze the shit out and have a fantastic time. And you know what? It'll happen. Your life will go on, right? You know what? This is a funny story to share as a fan too. It's like when a dynasty ends and you kind of feel it, and it's like, and you like, and for Chiefs fans, this is gonna happen to you. Wild card game: Patriots versus Titans, AFC wild card. I think this is beginning of 2020. Tom Brady's there's talk about Tom Brady leaving. Tom Brady's last fucking play as a New England Patriot. Pick 6, Logan Ryan. Done. That was it. That was the end of it. Like, so you know what? If you're a Chiefs fan, appreciate this. Appreciate being hated. Appreciate having the AFC Championship game be called the Arrowhead Invitational. Because you know what? Whether it's next year, whether it's 20 years from now, it'll end. And that's what maybe it's a reassurance for some other fans, and this is kind of reality. It's like, yeah, you know what? But appreciate it. Appreciate the moment you're in. I know this kind of sounds cheesy and motivational and weird, but appreciate the football we get to experience. Right now, we are getting to see some amazing players. There's some amazing players in football. We get to watch them. We get to watch football. And that's kind of my message to a lot of people, because I was pretty salty after it. I wanted the Bills. I wanted everybody wanted the Commanders, because it was just a nice story, right? And you don't always get the nice story. But you know what? With the low expectations this is gonna have, it's gonna I think it'll make people a little bit happier at the end of the day. It's football. I'll be happy. We get to watch football, and I will leave you guys on that. You guys have a wonderful day, week, month, year. I'm going to be posting a little bit more content on different sports during these 2 weeks. Also, just more Super Bowl talk. But that's my initial reaction to the end to the AFC and NFC Championship games. Saquon's the MVP. The Chiefs are great, and you know what? And appreciate it. Appreciate football. Alrighty, peace out.